Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do the Booktube SPI Awards Babbles. These are, I've linked down below the website and the Goodreads page to do these, and people are doing videos on certain topics. This week's topic is favorite urban fantasy book or series. So I've picked a few series here, and I had to kind of condense what I was going to do, and it's actually pretty male dominated, which I did not actually think so, but the thing is I've read more of those recently, and I've found that I need to do a little focusing on my urban fantasies. I have at least 20 of the first books of like all these series that I haven't tried yet, and I have like at least 4 series that I tried the first book and really liked it, so I collected more books and I have not completed them. And I feel like most of my female writers are in there that I have a lot of them, I just haven't read a lot of them. So I'm going to just talk about the ones that I've read in the last few years that I think, or ones that that are still have withstood the test of time after I finished them. And just say these are kind of my favorites right now. And I said, there's a lot of series that I potentially will love if I would just read them. So we'll see. Anyway, as I said, I might do one of those try a chapter videos where I take 5 books and read the first chapter and then try to read those. And I think I'm going to do that with urban fantasy here pretty soon, because I think I need to do that because I need to get back into urban fantasies. So I'm going to talk about the one female urban fantasy book that I have here, and that's Lisa Sheridan. Or Sharon, I'm not sure how she says her last name. Anyway, this is the SPI Files novels. This series is cute. For an urban fantasy, this is very like in that genre. So again, I classify urban fantasies as the real world with a twist. So like this one has people like people in the world don't know that monsters and psychic powers and all things really exist. But these people who work at this I think it's the Supernatural Protection and Investigations place or department or whatever, they actually know that they all exist, and so their job is to go out and make sure nobody else knows that these creatures exist, which is one of the main things with urban fantasy. Usually either everybody knows this one twist, like dragons exist, or magic exists, or nobody knows and it's kind of a secret world. So they can go either way on urban fantasies. This one happens to be ones where it's kind of supposed to be secret. And again, most of the books deal with always somebody trying to make it public, because in our day and age of all social media. These are just cute. I love the main characters, Spunk, she's just funny. And so I've enjoyed these, and I've read most of them. I think I have not read the last book, so I just need to catch up on one. And anyway, I think there's like 5 books, so it's an ongoing series, at least unless the last book finishes it, which again I have not read the last one yet. But these were fun. Another series that I enjoy is Ben Aaronovitch's Peter Grant series. The first book is either titled Midnight Riot or The Rivers of London. I like The Rivers of London better, but it makes more sense when you actually read the book. But this is an urban fantasy that takes place in London. This is book 3. I like this cover. So I've read up to 3 at least. This is one I'm continuing on. I have several of the books, and I do have some of the graphic novels that also go to this series. So this has to do with a police officer who finds out that there's magic in the world and that he actually can do some magic. So it's pretty cool. I really enjoy the series so far, and again, I'm in the middle of reading this one, so I don't have a full picture of it yet, but I still think I look forward to reading these, and so I plan to pick up the next book really soon. But the humor in here is good, and there's a lot of good diversity stuff, and I think this is a really good modern one, so it's awesome. So a little more old school is Dean Koontz's Odd Thomas. Sorry about the glare there. This is I mean, I'm sure it's probably listed as under fiction, and it's mostly like put under horror, but I would classify this as an urban fantasy because Odd Thomas can see ghosts. He can also see some other weird things that are dead. So I would definitely put this into the urban fantasy era, because not everybody knows about it, and he's like the only one who can see it most of the time. So this series was really good. I really enjoyed it every time it came out. And it's actually one I want to do a reread of pretty soon, just because it still resonates with me. I really enjoyed his character. I mean, the middle books was more his meandering when he didn't know what he was doing, but the final book was just phenomenal, and I love that book. So I really want to kind of reread this series, but I would recommend that if you're, again, because he writes horror and that kind of genre, it is a little bit, there's more details kind of towards the horror side, but again, I think it's a really, again, he deals with humans being really bad, and then Odd Thomas is there to save the day with his with some of his friends. Anyway, and it's, you know, so I like that series. Another urban fantasy is Tad Williams' Bobby Dollar series. This is like a trilogy. This is the first book, and I really enjoyed this. I need to finish it, but I liked it so far. It has to do with angels and demons in I think it's a town south of San Francisco, like in the Bay Area. It's a kind of made up town, I think close to where he probably really lives. I don't know. But it has to do with angels and demons, not really wanting to stay angels and demons or wanting to change things up. So there's like a conspiracy in the world of heaven and hell. So it's a very interesting story. And I really enjoyed it for, because again, I love Tad Williams. But I think it's a good urban fantasy one, as well as I think that it's a good way that if you don't want to pick up one of his huge epic fantasies, maybe these ones are a little bit more bite-sized. I mean, they're still pretty big. I mean, they're still over 400 pages each, but they're good. They're shorter than his other stuff. And then I'm going to kind of do my little gush here on my favorite urban fantasy writer. So I have most of his stuff that he's written in the last 10, 15 years, because that's the era of the stuff that I really, really have enjoyed from him. And of course, I buy his stuff as soon as I can. I usually wait till paperback, or when I can get it. So I'm just going to mention a few of the series that he writes. So the first one that I really recommend is the Nightside series by Simon R. Green. It has to do with an alternative London where you can pretty much buy anything or sell anything to get what you want. And this John Taylor is an investigator who tried to run away from living in the Nightside and away from that life, but he is sucked back in, and what happens in the series is after he gets dragged back. And I really enjoy this series. Again, I've read this a couple of times. This whole series is like 12 books. This is a bind-up of the first 3. So the first book is Something from the Nightside. I just love this series. I think it was really fun and interesting, and it has a lot of like history stuff in there too, like with Merlin and just some weird characters. These people are crazy in here, but again, it's a place where you could do or be whatever you want for a price, and it's a very interesting concept, and again, that's why I like that one. And then another series that's finished of his is the Ghost Finder series. This is the first book. These ones are just little wacky ghost stories. So these are mostly about these 3 investigators who work for an institute that sends them out to deal with paranormal issues. So they have the female character has all her gadgets, and she's all the scientific side of it. Then there's the psychic, who is not a happy person. And he knows more of the feelings of what's going on and that kind of thing. And then there's the leader, who just has the strength and bravado to make them go do things that they don't want to do. And he's way too gung-ho sometimes. But this book series is only 6 books, and they're really small. Quick reads. Loved this series. It's just, they're fun. Like, you don't take them too seriously. You don't. I mean, there's serious things in it, but it's like, you still laugh way through it. I really enjoyed that series. The current series that he's writing, that I've just started, or I've been reading the last couple of years, is the Ishmael Jones series, which are kind of like, I think they call them mystery manor, or murder mystery manors or something. So he always gets this character, Ishmael Jones, keeps going to these manors, like really big country manors, and something always goes wrong. And he's sent there by this shadowy, government, what do you call it? Government department, and then he goes in to try to figure out what's going on. And usually somebody's getting killed or something's happening. I mean, there's been weird paranormal things that have happened, and again, he's kind of odd himself. And in the after this book, this is the first book, and then after that he has his assistant Penny, which is awesome. She's awesome, and they're just hilarious back and forth together. So I really like these. I usually have to get them though from the library because you can't find these that much. I've gotten the first 2 online once, but I haven't got the other ones, and I think book 5 comes out in another week, so I'm looking forward to that. So that one's continuing. And then the only one series that I haven't really caught up on is the Drude series, or the Secret History series. And he has like 12 books in this. I don't even know now. I'm a little behind on this. I've only read this first book, The Man with the Golden Torque. And I really want to read this series. I just keep putting it off. I don't know, maybe I don't want to have like nothing to read. I don't know, but I have like a whole bunch of these. So I'm going to try pick one of these up here pretty soon because I need to get back into this. This is kind of more, the Druids are a family that are kind of like they're trying to hold off what do you call it? So like humanity is under attack from like aliens and other things, other weird things, and they're kind of like supposed to be like one of the last barriers. And you know, there's a lot of problems in being in that family as well because it's huge and it's a big structure, and not everybody makes the right decisions. And so this, as I said, I've only read the first book, which was really good, and I need to continue, as I said. But I would, again, if you want more bigger, chunkier ones of his, that would be this, and maybe that's why I need to read more of these. Anyway, because I love him. I just love all his books, and I don't know why I'm not continuing on with that. So I will definitely be doing that. You will see one of those in my wrap-up soon. Anyway, so those are all of the urban fantasy ones I picked up recently, all the ones that I come up off my shelf that I've actually read a lot of them or really, really enjoyed. I definitely am going to have to pick up more in the future because I realize I own a lot, I just haven't read them. So I did want to mention that I do have a lot of paranormal romances that I think are kind of on the same vein as an urban fantasy, except of course it deals more with the romance, but the world building of those worlds are so well done. They're like urban fantasies to me, except they have a little bit more romance to them. So I don't know if you guys would like to see a video on my favorite paranormal romance series. Let me know if you do. If not, that is it for now. Hey, if you guys have any urban fantasy series you think I really should pick up, I would appreciate it, since I am obviously behind and I need to read some more. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the Booktube SPF Babbles. I'm hoping to watch more of those videos as they come out and do more of them in the future. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.